In this presentation, I will pitch to you a 3-day photographic expedition across the Pembrokeshire coastline. I will discuss where we'll be going, what we will be doing, covering alternative plans and risk management, and going through any required kit that will be needed. The purpose of this expedition is to be sustainable as possible. I will be going over what makes a trip sustainable and how we ourselves can be sustainable as possible during this expedition. Where are we going? Our expedition will last for 3 days and 2 nights and will cover the coastline between Solva Harbour and Marloes Bay. The reason I've chosen this piece of coastline to explore is for many reasons. I've walked this coastline before, giving me experience, making it appropriate for me to lead this group. It's also a fairly simple and easy to follow path, making it a great route for sightseeing and taking photos. When are we doing this? Our expedition will take place at the start of June this year. I've chosen to complete this expedition in the summer for several reasons. The main one is down to the weather. Walking along the coastline in the summer is a much more pleasant experience when it's warmer outside. The hidden coves also give us a great opportunity to cool off if the weather starts getting a bit too hot. The scenery is also much more pleasant to photograph at this time of year. What we will be doing. On day 1, we get a minibus to Solva and arrive at approximately 11:30 am. We want to leave by 12 and start our journey. Along the journey, we're going to be taking plenty of photos across the course of the day and possible opportunity for some swimming in the coves as well. We want to arrive at the campsite just before 4 o'clock, set up our tents and cooking equipment and settle down for the evening. Our alternative plan for day 1. This plan works out for both wet and sunny weather, ideally sunny though, but if the wet weather does come in, it can allow us to test our own skills in both the outdoor and photographic sense. If the weather turns out to be too windy for us to walk along the coastline, we can stroll further inland for safety reasons. Here's a route card for day 1 of our expedition. What we're going to be doing on day 2 of our expedition. So sunrise will be at approximately 5:30 am. So we're going to wake up nice and early, cook some breakfast and get going on the beaches. The beaches on this area are really nice, long and narrow, great for taking photos and even for a quick swim as well. We're going to stop off in town for some lunch as well, get some nice warm hearty food in us and continue on and arrive at the campsite at around 3:30 pm. If the weather becomes too dangerous, we can be picked up from a car park near our first campsite and drive down to the beach, avoiding any risk and danger surrounding the cliffy coastline. This then gives us more time to spend on the beach practicing our photographic skills. What we're going to be doing on day 3 of our expedition. So on the final day, sunrise again will be at a similar time at 5:30. We want to leave the campsite nice and early on this day and get going. Don't want to hang about. We're going to walk on the coastline, some of the regular breaks and activities along the way. We want to arrive at Holyhead car park at 3 o'clock, then drive back to Kiev at 4:30 to sort out all the gear and get going again. Our alternative plan for day 3 is to walk along the paths and ride our ways further inland to avoid any risk of injury close to the coastline. Luckily, the paths on these routes are fairly safe and simple, so the plans shouldn't require too much changing around. The equipment required for our trip. As you can see, I've listed below all the vital equipment that is required for my trip. I've covered all grounds, from clothing to camping and photography to safety. So have a look at that, see what you need. Why are we doing this? The expedition I'm pitching you has many purposes. Below are some of the aims that I wish for myself and my group to achieve while out on our expedition. To develop personal navigation skills in the outdoors, to feel more confident in setting up a suitable, appropriate camping environment, to create a story about our trip using our type of photography and videography that we'll be doing along the trip, and to gain more experience travelling in the outdoors during hot weather conditions. What makes me capable to lead this expedition and make me a suitable group leader? So, I've walked this route before and visited the area several times, giving me great experience with this area and the best routes. I've got experience with cameras and imagery, making me suitable to lead a photographic walk. I've got lots of experience camping outdoors in multiple conditions, such as Norway, up-driven, and in other environments. I've walked long distances in much harsh conditions than one will be coping with. I'm first aid trained and had multiple experiences in leadership several times over my time at university. What makes it a sustainable journey? To show that my journey is sustainable, I'll be talking about the 3 pillars and how they are relevant to my current expedition that I'm pitching to today. Environmental. So what makes this walk environmentally friendly? Well, we'll be using a minibus to transport the group members to and from the location to cut down on petrol and CO2 emissions. Our location from the expedition is just over an hour's drive away as well. The group takes all rubbish and litter home with them to dispose of properly, reducing the amount of litter we leave on the footpaths completely. We will use suitable food and cooking equipment as appropriate for our current environment, and we'll be walking along a regularly used pre-made footpath not to disturb any untreated habitats. Economic. So what makes this journey economically viable? We'll be using shared transportation to cut down on the price of fuel. We're doing our expedition in the summer, which reduces the use of money spent on winter equipment and gear. We're using old and pre-used equipment to save money buying new stuff. Everyone is contributing to the food and cooking, saving a lot more money being spent around the whole group. We'll be using our photos and videos to promote the area and local businesses to bring in much more tourism to the area. And we'll be pre-planning the expedition in as much detail as possible to save any money being spent in places it doesn't need to be spent. What makes this expedition suitable socially? We're going to make sure everyone in the group is prepared properly and happy to go on the walk beforehand. Regular checkups on people's mental health and physical health throughout the whole trip. We'll be educating the group beforehand about the trip and why we are doing it. We're going to let local authorities know and landowners know beforehand as well. Below, I've created a Venn diagram explaining each of the 3 pillars and how they apply to my sustainable journey today. Thank you for listening to my pitch today, and I hope to see you on this journey very soon.